Have you ever encountered something that just doesn't seem to make sense? Something that challenges your understanding of the world? That's the beauty of paradoxes. They're fascinating, mind-bending, and thought-provoking. Paradoxes can be found in many different fields, from philosophy to mathematics to physics. And in this video, we'll explore some of the most intriguing paradoxes out there. First, let's define what a paradox is. At its core, a paradox is a statement or situation that seems to contradict itself. It's like a puzzle that challenges our assumptions and forces us to think outside the box. But why are paradoxes so fascinating? Well, for one thing, they reveal the limits of our knowledge and understanding. They show us that the world is full of surprises and that we can never fully grasp its complexity. In this video, we'll cover 4 different paradoxes: the liar paradox, the grandfather paradox, the bootstrap paradox, and the Sorites paradox. Each one will challenge your mind in a different way and leave you wondering about the mysteries of the universe. So buckle up and get ready to dive into the fascinating world of paradoxes. Let's get started. Let's start with one of the most famous paradoxes in philosophy, the liar paradox. It's a simple statement that seems innocent enough, but it quickly becomes a mind-bending challenge to our understanding of truth. The liar paradox is a statement that says this statement is false. If we assume that it's true, then that means the statement is false. But if we assume it's false, then that means it's actually true. This creates a never-ending loop of contradiction. The liar paradox challenges our understanding of truth by showing that there are statements that can't be easily categorized as true or false. It's a paradox that has puzzled philosophers for centuries. There are many different versions of the liar paradox, such as the Epimenides paradox, which says all cretins are liars. If a cretin says this statement, then it seems like they're admitting to being a liar, which means the statement is true. But if it's true, then it means the cretin was telling the truth, which means they're not a liar. This creates another loop of contradiction. Another example is the Pinocchio paradox, which asks whether Pinocchio's nose would grow if he said "my nose will grow now." If his nose grows, then that means he was lying, but if it doesn't grow, then that means he was telling the truth, which means it should have grown. So, how do we solve the liar paradox? Well, there are many proposed solutions, but no consensus among philosophers. One approach is to reject the assumption that all statements must be categorized as either true or false. Another is to accept that some statements can be both true and false at the same time. The liar paradox may not have a clear solution, but it certainly challenges our assumptions about truth and logic. It's a paradox that continues to fascinate and inspire thinkers across different fields. Now, let's move on to the grandfather paradox, which is a paradox that arises in time travel scenarios. It's a mind-bending puzzle that challenges our understanding of causality and the nature of time. Imagine you've built a time machine and you decide to travel back in time to meet your grandfather before he has children. You accidentally kill him, which means your father or mother will never be born, and consequently, neither will you. But if you were never born, then you could never have gone back in time to kill your grandfather in the first place. This creates a loop of paradox. The grandfather paradox is problematic because it violates the principle of causality. If an effect precedes its cause, then it creates a logical contradiction that defies our understanding of how the world works. However, there are proposed solutions to the grandfather paradox, such as the Novikov self-consistency principle, which suggests that time travel can't change the past because any actions taken by time travelers would have already been accounted for in the timeline. In other words, the past has already happened in a predetermined way, and any attempts to change it would be futile. The grandfather paradox has been explored in many popular movies and TV shows, such as Back to the Future. In the movie, Marty McFly travels back in time and accidentally prevents his parents from meeting, which puts his own existence in jeopardy. The grandfather paradox may never be fully resolved, but it continues to intrigue and challenge our understanding of time and causality. It's a paradox that forces us to question the very nature of reality. Let's now take a look at another paradox that arises in time travel scenarios, the bootstrap paradox. It's a paradox that challenges our understanding of causality and the concept of origins. Imagine you find a book written by your favorite author. You travel back in time and give the book to your younger self, who then grows up to become the same author who wrote the book. But if you never wrote the book in the first place, then how did it come into existence? The bootstrap paradox is particularly mind-bending because it involves a loop of events that have no clear origin or cause. The bootstrap paradox has been explored in many popular movies and TV shows, such as the predestination paradox in Doctor Who. In this episode, the character of the Doctor meets his own future self and gives him an idea that he uses in his past to become the Doctor. The bootstrap paradox has no clear solution, but some propose that the information or object that is looped must have originated from an external source that is not part of the time loop. For instance, the book in the previous example may have been written by someone else and then sent back in time to your past self. However, this proposed solution also raises questions about the nature of causality and the origin of events. The bootstrap paradox continues to puzzle and intrigue us, and it may never have a definitive answer. Let's now explore another paradox that arises in the context of vagueness, the Sorites paradox. It challenges our understanding of how we define concepts and the boundaries that we draw around them. Imagine you have a single grain of sand. Is it a heap of sand? No. But if you add another grain of sand to it, is it a heap now? Still no. But if you keep adding grains of sand, at what point does it become a heap? The Sorites paradox arises from the indeterminacy of where to draw a line between things that are clearly different. It challenges our understanding of how we define concepts and the boundaries we draw around them. The paradox of the heap is a classic example of the Sorites paradox. If you remove a single grain of sand from a heap, it's still a heap. But if you keep removing grains of sand, at what point does it stop being a heap? Proposed solutions to the Sorites paradox include the idea of a tolerance principle where we allow for a range of possible boundaries between concepts. Another solution proposes that we should abandon the idea of sharp boundaries altogether and embrace the idea of fuzzy boundaries where concepts overlap with each other. However, these proposed solutions also raise questions about the nature of language and the precision with which we use it. The Sorites paradox remains a thought-provoking paradox that challenges our understanding of how we define concepts and the boundaries we draw around them. And that brings us to the end of our video on paradoxes. Let's take a moment to summarize what we've covered. We started by defining what a paradox is and why they are fascinating. We explored 4 different paradoxes: the liar paradox, the grandfather paradox, the bootstrap paradox, and the Sorites paradox, and discussed their implications and proposed solutions. We saw how these paradoxes challenge our understanding of truth, time travel, causality, and vagueness. But they also reveal the limitations of our logical and linguistic systems and inspire us to think creatively and critically. So why do paradoxes matter? Well, they encourage us to think outside the box, challenge our assumptions, and expand our understanding of the world. They also remind us that not everything can be neatly resolved or explained, and that ambiguity and uncertainty are an inherent part of our existence. I hope that this video has sparked your curiosity about paradoxes and encouraged you to explore them further. We would love to hear your thoughts and comments on this topic, so don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to our channel, and share your ideas with us. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep questioning and exploring the fascinating world of paradoxes.